assignment this week?
There is a weekly assignment this week. You can find it in the same place you always find it, which is on eClass.
Yeah, I was looking for it this morning because I was like, trying to find out like something, and then I didn't see anything. Like I didn't see a Google form or a Delta
I'll
map
check.
or anything.
I'll double check. I'll go look for it and um, but it should be there because I remember that when I did all the planning before the semester started, and
Okay.
I know that I didn't have anything this week, but there should be something this week. Um, maybe I just there was an error posting or something, but I'll double check.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, all right. So we're starting off with the practice test you took yesterday. The result terrible. Class average was just below 40%. The curve kicked in, and the curve helped some people out. But um, my advice to you is if I could have your complete attention and your nose covered with your mask and everything. This is a real opportunity to take advantage because if you think about it, like I'm gonna do the best I can to correct mistakes, but it's gonna require some studying. It's gonna require some going back and practicing, maybe some going back and looking at the homework, um, and most people don't do that. So, whereas the average was pretty low, if you can be one of the few, because I hope it's everybody, but I just don't think it's gonna be everybody, able to pick up their grade by tomorrow. And then on top of that, you're going to kick in the curve because the class average is too low. You can really see your grade take off. For what it's worth, the results are posted on eClass in the same location where you took the practice test yesterday, and the link for the retake is there. As long as I got a test from you, which I think everybody that's online right now and in person, I did get a test from. So you would just go and you can take it as many times as you want, and I will average it with your original. That grade, retake would be due by tomorrow night, 11:59. Any questions on that? All right. So perimeter of a triangle. Just for the purposes of this review, let's call this point A, point B, and point C. Okay. What's perimeter? What is perimeter? And we have the entire test from last week to go over also. So, yeah, you're gonna want to get through this quick. If I can't finish everything, I'm not gonna go back to it later. So,
Is it this distance from
yeah.
all the sides?
Oh, that is beautiful, fantastic. That's the word I wanted to hear. The key word she said is it's distance. It's the distance around a polygon. Okay. So that tells us that we need to use distance formula. So let's go find how many sides does the triangle have. ¿Cuántos lados tienes un triángulo? 6? Let me say 6?
No, 3.
3, good. So let's subtract let's do AB. So subtract the x of 2 minus 2 squared. That works out great because that's 0. That's gone. And then 1 minus 4 squared. Sorry about that. Negative 3 squared. Now be careful, when you square a negative, you get a positive, so negative 3 squared is 9, but when you take the square root, you get 3. So that's one side. Now let's find BC. 2 minus 6 squared plus 4 minus 1 squared. 4 plus 3 squared. When you square a negative, you get a positive, so that's 16 plus 9, which gives you 25, which gives you 5. Square root of 25, which is 5. So far, we said there's 3 sides. I got 2 of them. Let's go find the third. AC is 2 minus 6 squared plus, oh, I love this right here, 1 minus 1. That cancels out. So it's just the square root of negative 4 squared. When I square that negative 4, I get positive 16. But then when I square root it, I get... Like when you square root a square, it's the same thing as doing absolute value. Because when you square the negative 4, it becomes positive. So what is 3 plus 4 plus 5? 3 plus 4 plus 5 is? Yeah, it's just 12. And on the Google form, just put the number. Don't put anything else. Don't put P equals or anything else. D equals. Just put the 12. If you look at the results I sent you, this one was free response, so you could see what you put versus the correct answer. Any questions there? All right, line P passes through these points. What is the slope of the line which is perpendicular? Ooh, somebody translate that word for me. As it pertains to slope, what does the word perpendicular mean? If a line is perpendicular, what does it mean?
That it makes
Jeanette, you were going to say something?
Its product is -1.
Okay, yeah, that's one way of describing it. You can say that you would multiply to get -1, but in this, the way that this is structured, I think that might be the harder definition. There's an easier way to describe it. What were those two words that we used to describe perpendicular slopes? It starts with negative and ends with reciprocal. Come on, Jorge, I think you know the answer. No, Jorge doesn't want to say it. I didn't give a good enough hint. I'll give the same hint again. It starts with negative and ends with reciprocal. What do you think, Mohammed? No, I gave you a hint. I didn't say it. I just gave you a hint. I want Mohammed to answer it. Mikhail, is your audio working today? Oh, I saw it turn on. Your audio's working, yes or no?
Can you hear me?
I can kind of hear you. It's really low, but I can kind of hear you. Do you know what perpendicular means?
Yes, negative reciprocal.
The negative reciprocal slope is really low, though. You might need to yell. Yeah, it's a negative reciprocal slope. So if I can find the slope of these points here, which is subtract the y's on top, subtract the x's on the bottom. Where did I put it? Sorry. 8. -2 over -6 is 1 over 3. That's the slope of these 2 points. So the question is, what is the negative reciprocal of that? If I get that fraction and flip it and change the sign, what do I get? Okay, -3 over 1, but that's just -3. That's what you would put into the Google form. Negativo 13, Mirci. Muy bueno. I'm watching you, girl. Okay, good. All right, this is the one I was telling you guys about. This question, I ended up disqualifying it after the fact because, yeah, none of those answers apply. So that question just didn't count. But I'm still going to go over it because it's still a skill that you need to know and it could show up on the test. So they're giving you a line and they're telling you to come up with a line that is perpendicular and passes through that point. We did this the very first day that we started this unit. So in order to be able to write the equation of a line, you need the slope, and then eventually you need to find the y-intercept, which we'll go about. But, okay, what is the slope of the line they're giving me? 1/2. But then again, perpendicular, which Mikhail said means negative reciprocal. So what is the negative reciprocal of 1/2? -2. So the slope of my line is going to be -2, and it needs to pass through this point. Now, there's more than one way to do this, but the way that we did it in class was to use point slope form, which says y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1, where you're just substituting the y of the point, the x of the point, and the slope. So y minus 3 is equal to 2 times x minus 3. What would we do next? ¿Qué piensas, Emilsi? No? ¿Has aprendido algo este año? Mucho, pero eso no. What would we do next?
Distribute the 2.
Wait, somebody said something. I think it was Mikhail. It was really low. Say it again.
Distribute the 2.
Very good. Distributed property. 2x minus 6 plus 3 plus 3. Y equals 2x minus 3. And as you can tell, that wasn't in the bank. So, I mean, it's still a question worth reviewing, but I don't know why that ended up like that. I don't know, maybe they messed up. Maybe the answer was supposed to be this one, but they messed it up. This was supposed to go here, and that was supposed to go there. Anywho, all right. No questions? These are the points on the triangle. What is the area of the triangle? Ooh. Now, it would definitely help you if you had graph paper here so that you can visualize. But if not, I mean, you can just sketch this on a sheet of paper. 3, 2, so that's like 3 to the right and 2 up. 6, 2, which is 6 to the right and 2 up. The key being that the 2's are horizontal with one another. And then 6, 8, which is also right above the 6th. So the thing is that gives us a right triangle, which makes life a whole lot easier. If this is at 3, 2, and this is at 6, 2, and this is at 6, 8, you can just count boxes to find the side lengths, where the important sides are the legs, because that's the base and the height. How long is the base? How far is, because they're both on 2 for the y, how far is 3 from 6? How many boxes would 3 be away from 6? 3. How many boxes would 8 be away from 2? 6. So then my formula for area of a triangle is just 3 times 6 over 2, which gives you 9. That's what you would put into the Google form, just the 9. Esme, any questions? Jeanette, any questions?
No.
Okay. Which of the following equations? Oh, more perpendicular to the line with this equation. What form is this equation in? Okay, forma is it in? What form is this in?
Standard form?
It's in standard form, and I gave you a shortcut. See, because we're talking about perpendicular, I need negative reciprocal slope. What's the shortcut I told you for finding slope in standard form? My second period could not answer this today.
Negative A over B.
Very good. Negative A over... And I have candy now. If you were here, I'll give you candy. This is A, this is B. So it'll just be negative A, so change the sign of A over B. So that slope is 2 over 5. So all I got to do is look at all these and figure out which one has the negative reciprocal slope. What's the negative reciprocal of 2 over 5?
Negative 5 over 2.
Negative 5 over 2. And if I check all of these, where this is the A and this is the B, out of all of these, the one where I could flip the A, like not flip the A, I'm sorry, but change the A to a negative and then divide it by 2. Negative 5 is here, first one. That will give me negative 5 over 2. Any questions? Okay. I'm not sure how this one ended up on the one that was most missed, because it should have been pretty simple. Maybe because it was shaded in, you guys just assumed it was area. But perimeter is the distance around. And yes, normally that would mean using distance formula, but these points are horizontal and vertical from each other, so you can just count boxes. How many boxes wide is this? 9. How many boxes high is this? What is 9 plus 3 plus 9 plus 3? Ya a mí si lo entendiste. Más o menos. Más o menos. Menos que más, pero más o menos. Good, at home. Alright, this next one I'm gonna take the blame on. But, I mean, you can, as long as you get it fixed by tomorrow, you'll be fine. I curved this practice test, but I've also replaced it if you do better on the real test. The thing is, I tried to oversimplify the formula for you, and I guess it doesn't always work. This is one of the cases where it doesn't work. So I'm going to show you an alternative that will always work. I was just kind of, here's what I showed you, right? I showed you that you just get these vertices and inscribe it in a rectangle. Oops, should have gone there. And then I just told you that you could get that rectangle and find the area and divide by 2, but that doesn't always work, and this would be one of the cases where it doesn't work. Now, there's more than one way to do this, but I just think this would be the easiest way. Another way you could have done it is to break on the inside, just break this into all right triangles and just add them up. That way would work also, but I'll show you just a different way. Not that hard to learn. If it shows up tomorrow, you can use it tomorrow. How high is the rectangle? How many boxes high? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How wide is it? Ocho, is it? No, it is 8. Very good, let me see. It is 8. Alright, so the rectangle is 8 times 10. But I have to chop off that rectangle. These sections, if I can cut them out or subtract them, then that's going to leave me the triangle that I have inside. And the nice thing is that all of these are right triangles, which that formula that I gave you does work on. Okay, so the triangle in red that I'm going to subtract first, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 high. It's the full 8 wide, so it's 6 times 8, but then for triangles, you got to divide by 2. For the next one, it's 10 high, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide, divide by 2. And the last one is 1, 2, 3 wide, 1, 2, 3. No, sorry, oops, it's 3 wide, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4 high. So 4 times 3 over 2. And I take that away. If I can chop all those away, what's just going to be left is this triangle here in the middle. So let's see, 8 times 10 is 80. 6 times 8 divided by 2 is 24. Minus 25. And then minus 6. What's 80 minus 24 minus 25 minus 6?
25.
Thank you. So that's what you would type in. Oh, I'm sorry. This was multiple choice. It isn't. It would have been this one. So some people might have guessed it right, but I'll take that one on me. But you still had a curve that bumped some of you guys up 20 or 30 points, so shouldn't really be an issue. Any questions there? This next one should have been pretty simple. There's point. So here they're telling you about a segment called AB, and they say that point P. All right, Peter is the one that's running in this race, and he's located 1/4 of the way along the race, meaning 1, 2. There's 4 sections, and he's already finished the first out of 4 sections. He's 1/4 of the way. So what ratio does that represent? Remember when they write a ratio, when they partition, this is what we went over, they're comparing what you've already run to what you still have to run. How many sections has he already finished? 1. How many does he have left?
3.
When you write it as a fraction, then it's, remember, you have to add the 1 and the 3 for the total sections. But when you write it as a ratio, when it's a partition, it's just how many before, how many after. All right. This one, there's probably a couple ways to do it, but the way I would advise you, just use the way I did now. We want to deal only with right triangles. That was my thing. I knew it worked with right triangles, but I thought we could get away with using it with other triangles, but we couldn't. So if I were to do this, this makes the big one into a right triangle, and then I could just afterwards subtract this right triangle. So this bigger right triangle, which I just drew right now, how many boxes high is it? How far is it from blue point to blue point? How far? 8. How wide is it? Is it also 8? Yeah, it is 8 also. Okay. So the big triangle would be 8 times 8 over 2. But then I have to take away this one that I just invented, which is 2 by 8 over 2. The 2's cancel, so you end up with 32 minus 8 gives you 24. But that was a write in. You have to write that one in. Any questions there? Okay, now this one shouldn't have been too bad because here this is easy to break up. If I just draw this and this, I've now just broken this up into a right triangle, a rectangle, and a right triangle. This right triangle, the first right triangle, how wide is it? What's the base? How many boxes? The first one on the left. From here to here, how far is it?
6.
It is 6. And all of these are going to be 6 high. From here to here is 6. So 6 times 6 over 2. But now I'm adding them together. The rectangle, how wide is that rectangle?
4.
No, it's 4. So 4 times 6 over 2 plus the one on the right is 3 wide times 6 over 2. So that is 18 plus 12 plus 9. Is that right? 3, 6. 3 times 3, 9, yeah. So it's 21. Wait, why do I feel like I did something wrong? Did I calculate something with Mohammed, my calculator man? I'm getting 39, but I feel like that wasn't the answer earlier. 6 high, 4 wide. Oh, I get it. Sorry. I messed it. This is a rectangle, not a triangle. Sorry, this is 4 times 6. There's no dividing by 2 there. That makes more sense now. All right, so what's that? What's 18 times 20? 18 plus 24 plus 9. Any questions with that? Or hey, you agree? Okay. All right. So now what we'll do, we'll cut that off. This is what will go online today, and you have until tomorrow night to make up the practice test. And then